Okay, we are recording. Good morning.
Morning, morning.
We are here at Southside Book and Writers Club at the Close Street Library. We will be here from 11 to 1 right now. We're going to be doing our review on
Trouble redemption.
Trouble Redemption by Ciara J. Lewis.
Yep.
Excuse me, my apology. I waited for somebody to come in and jump and say that name for me. Again, my name is Kim Walton. Whitney Gillespie.
Yes.
Alexandra Walton. Yes, we are distantly related. Okay, so nobody got jokes this morning, but that's all good. All right, our review, we're going to go ahead and get started. Ladies, can y'all tell me what you liked about the book?
I like the take-home message of the book. I think I like the fact that it reminded me of one of those whole your past doesn't have to define your present or future type of stories. One of those, I guess you could say happily ever after endings. Girl and guy get each other in the end. There was a lot of parts in there where you could like internalize and look at yourself and look at how things in your life could cause you to feel jaded or feel the type of way or act the type of way, and cause us to look at how we can become the people we are today because of the life events. So looking at the main character, Torian, his name, looking at him
Yeah.
and looking at him, you wonder immediately when we started hearing his story, like, okay, what's your background? What's going on with you? Why are you where you are? And then as we get into it, you're like, okay. And I guess I was waiting for the cliffhanger. And then when I found out that his brother was the actual one that the mother kept and she didn't keep him, I was like, oh Lord, it's gonna set him back. But seeing that he was able to take that, it made you also wonder, did he already know? Because when Aiden, his girl in the book, when she came and saw Mason, she said you could tell the similarities. So it made you wonder, like, if she, an outsider, could tell the similarities, could he not automatically feel that maybe that was his brother? Because when she said she looked at him in the book, it shows how she looked at him to do the introduction, and then she looked back at TJ, and then she looked back at him.
I think that sometimes you don't realize because you're so close to it.
Right. And so when I saw that, I said, okay. And it was just dynamics of how it came to be, because I kept saying something's not right. Because, it's sort of like when Tyler Perry introduced new characters into the book, you're like, okay, so what's their purpose? So when Jamal came in, I was like, so what is his purpose? And then when he kept saying getaway car, I was like, why does he keep saying getaway driver, getaway driver? And I was like, what is this? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put that in the background of my mind, because maybe that's gonna come up later and it's gonna be significant.
And it did come
and
out.
it did come out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. But I mean,
How many stars would you give it?
I give it 4.
Okay.
I give it 4 for the fact that, yeah, it's low year, it was a storyline, but I felt like in some parts it took too long, in some parts it dragged out, and then the ending, I felt like it was forced where, all of a sudden he shows up at the Sherman's house, sort of like one of those TV shows that, the season finale is ending. He shows up at the Sherman's house and, hey, we're gonna have pie together, and we're just, we're lovey-dovey, and I'm gonna apologize to Eric for beating him up growing up. I felt like the ending was kind of forced. It was sort of like, okay, let me tie up loose ends in the ending.
Okay.
So I gave it 4 stars. I felt like, okay, yeah. And then the whole Jamal, like, okay, how he ended, his storyline ended. But sort of like he was just making a cameo in the book, and then he disappeared without any other trace other than, he just ironically found his home in jail, and then he ironically ended it all in jail. It just a lot of it just didn't make sense to me. So,
okay.
I enjoyed reading it. It was a good page turner. That's what I said when I did my review. It was a good page turner. But there was still some parts I was just like, really? Is that how we're going to bring closure? And Tamia, his whole mom situation, that whole thing, I was just like, okay, we're gonna really pull on the heartstrings and make her look real strong out, alcoholic, like she's trying to get her life back together with Mason. And ironically, 11 years, she's just, I just felt like some parts. And then her getting engaged to Bruce, we're going to give her a happily ever after. And then in the end, so I felt like a lot of it was like, but really, everybody doesn't have to have a happily ever after. Like, it could have went a different way. Instead of...
Hold that. What did you think up until that point? I mean, what did you think? Start over?
Yeah. My opinion of the book is that it was hard for the book to capture my attention, and it really was. I didn't. It tells a story that so many young kids go through, and that you wonder why they turn bitter, why they turn to anger, why they turn to violence. I felt like the book should have expressed it just a little bit more. And actually, I felt like the author should have put some of her experiences in it as well, because we don't really know if she actually went through a traumatic situation such as that, or if someone close to her has went through it. But it gave a story that so many go through and nobody gets closure, or they have nobody to run to and talk to. And I felt like it was good for Torian and Ms. Morris to actually have that bond, because he didn't get that.
So you felt the book didn't give you enough closure?
No. I felt like it wanted to give you the perception of one being happy, but you didn't. Nobody can really understand or relate to what has happened or the events that has occurred in one's life, because they haven't walked that path. And if they have, then who do they go to and run to in order to sit there and see closure? But I also felt like Whitney, she was good for Aiden because she gave her that therapist card. Nobody knew that Whitney was going to therapy. The relationship with Whitney and Joe, I felt like Joe was possessive and controlling. And Aiden was right for her to feel the way she felt towards him. No, it's not right for her to get angry and cast judgment, but it's also not right for him to pretend to be a martyr, and that's not what really who he is. And for her to ask Whitney of so much when she's already given. So I don't think that she really loved Joe. I think that she was just gullible, and him, like Aiden said, him being there, him being her crush is what she was looking for. And that's why she's still in the position that she's in with him. But Sammy coming back into the picture, could they really be happy? Are they happy? Could she really say that she can leave Joe alone in order to be happy with Sammy? That's a long-lasting relationship.
Hold on. How many stars would you give for?
I'll give it 3 stars.
The reason why I'm having y'all hold, because y'all got points that are about to come out. And before we get all, and y'all take a breath, now I'm gonna do mine. I give it 5 stars. And you know what? I hope the volume is up and that you can hear me, because I can't talk all that loud. I don't know if the volume's up on the report. I just realized that. Okay. I hope so, but if it's not, man, we're gonna post this Joker just the way it is. I'm sorry. But excuse me, Whitney, I know that onion brush.
Me too.
But look, I give it 5 stars. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. If the book is slow at certain points, but the book is real life. It's realistic. What got me was TJ Torian grew up in foster care. He grew up in a foster home. Even though the writer didn't tell you that he was abused mentally, physically, sexually, they didn't tell you. You could basically see it from what he would say.
Right.
So, what did he learn to do to keep big boys off him? Fight. Somebody who may have been in that position or know somebody in that position, you understand when you got to put a fist up to back people up off you. So that part I liked, and I like the fact that she didn't just go into child rape the way Jamal, because Jamal talked about being raped. He talked about being raped by mama's boyfriend. We know that happens. We know that there's some sick individuals out there who will rape an 8 and 9-year-old child. And mama stands to the side, don't say nothing, because she's so desperate for this dude. But Jamal talked about being constantly raped and finally getting to the point he couldn't take it no more. And asking his mama, at one point for help. Mama not helping. She made Jamal the menace that she made him. He had an option to change, true. But sometimes when you're down that far, you can't reach up no more, or you like, you know what, I like being down here, which is the problem we have right now in society. We have a group that likes being down. That's not the way to go. You should want to go up. Now getting back to TJ. TJ had his sexual abuse. I think the writer didn't touch him to, I don't think Ciara touched him to whether or not TJ and Jamal had an intimate relationship as teenage boys, which we know can occur if they're already being abused and they're taught it's okay for me to put my mouth on your penis or us to pleasure each other like that. We know it's not okay. But if they've already been abused like that and they got the loved ones saying it's okay, they're bingo. So I sort of felt that Jamal was fixated on TJ based off of part of that right there. Not just I am my brother's keeper, based off this is my, or was, this is my teenage love. You know, and that's what I read from some of that too. Now for TJ, he's fighting. But you saw potential in TJ. And the reason why I say you saw potential, even though he was fighting, he's bullying people, he's doing crazy stuff, he finished high school. He got a scholarship to go to college. And I know some people diss the fact that a black athlete, male or female, will get a ride to go to college based off the fact they're what? They're athletic. Well, you know what? It's hard to get them scholarships. You got to be some of the best of the best to get that athletic scholarship. The fact that he got it, I was like, kudos, because he's one out of a million that's going to, you know, they got this. Cool. He got that scholarship to go to college. That let me know that there also was some redeeming qualities about him besides the fight. He had potential. You know, he needed somebody in there strong enough that actually gave a damn about him. When he was a teenager, step in there and sit there and say, hey, you can do better, be better. He was going to fight back regardless. But if the person would stay the course with him, he wouldn't have went through what he went through even when he got to college, when he was still fighting. It took for him to get to the point, scholarship is gone, off the basketball team, and they're saying your community service is going to be here. Now, as his mom, I have a hard issue with, and I'm telling you all why I gave it 5. I gave it 5 because those dynamics, and I'm telling you also with the mama's part. Then I'm like, I got to get to my girl 8. All right. With the mama's part, 11 years clean. Great job. But did you forget that you had a son who, while you all doped up, coked up, drunked up, they had to take care of you at 8, 6, 7, you know, then the court's got to take him because he's not eating. You can't take care of him. Did you forget that? And even when you went and got yourself free and clear, I don't want to hear about the guilt game anymore, which is something that we all ride on, this pity party. Screw the pity party. You had a child. You left that child. Then you messed up when you got yourself knocked up again by another abuser. Well, let me stop. TJ's dad was not an abuser. He was a firefighter. He was actually a good guy. And she started drinking because of that. But there's still no excuse. Because she wasn't the only one that hurt from the loss. Her son hurt from the loss, and he never had anybody to cry to about his dad. Because mama's thing was, pity me.
She never thought back to her child and
Bingo.
more pain than what she did.
Bingo. And she should have thought about that child. I thought the dynamics of that part, that reached me because I don't know how many kids have talked to me when I was in guidance about I had to be home taking care of my mama because she throwing up at her. You know, my mama, she at the club, she bringing Uncle Ben home, bringing Uncle this one, Uncle that one. You know, that right there, that's real life. That's real life. And a part of me was angry with her. Just see was, because 11 years you're clean and sober fighting. You took care of Mason. And you couldn't go reach out to this boy. You don't know what they did to him in foster care. And that's what I like what he said. You don't know how I had to fight because he didn't fight up until he was 8 or 9. See, that's why I said he was made to fight. He had to fight. But what you gonna do, lay down and take it? Some do. I'm glad he had to fight in spirit because that way he backed them up off him. He couldn't get them off him every time, but he backed up them enough. And it hardened him. It made him a bully. That's why he bullied Eric. He bullied Eric because everything that happened to him in all those foster homes hardened him to the point that his thing was, hey, I'm going to pay him back because he's a weaker one. That's why he bullied Eric, which wasn't right. So I gave this 5 because I thought that it was very realistic and it was slow. It was slow at points, but the realism of the story got me. Now getting with Aiden. Aiden had issues, and I understood her issues because her dad was murdered, mom was shot, put in the woodshed. But Aiden had issues. Aiden was, in a way, you think about another Tamia. Tamia used alcohol, drugs as a crutch. Aiden used her anger as a crutch. for why she couldn't move forward.
Right.
It took her getting to her breaking point, and for also her mom to break it down for her. Because if I'm not sitting here angry and I'm the one that's in that wheelchair, why are you angry? And then you're angry at people that are trying to help you.
Right.
Why are you angry? And if you notice, people went past Aiden to help the mom.
Mm-hmm.
You can't help somebody who every time you turn around, you want to snap off and go crazy for what? We understand you hurt, but we trying to help you. If you need us to back up, we can back up.
Right.
So that part, I understood that part too, because we go through that. Whitney and Joe.
I'm mad she named Whitney. That's just so bad. It's like, oh, now she has my name. Bruce.
Yes, he is.
Joe's a narcissist.
Yes,
And
he
he's
is.
possessive.
Yes.
Now, since I already said I gave it 5, Allie gave it 3, Whitney gave it 4, we're gonna do we'll do a cumulative like what you're doing for school, and we'll balance out and see what to give it overall. Okay. So more than likely for the book club, it'll probably be a 4.
Yes.
Personally, for me, it'll be a straight 5. But overall, book club, since I got a 4, 3, I got to balance out. That'll be overall for Southside Book and Writers Club. Trouble Redemption is a 4-star review.
Yes.
It actually is a good read. You have to give it a chance. Some parts are slow, some parts are not. But we're going to discuss now real quick, and I'm going to check the volume while we're discussing it. We're going to discuss Samuel, Whitney, and Joe. And that's why I held y'all. Because if we don't get it, we're never going to do a little critique.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you the problem I had with Joe. Aiden couldn't figure out why she disliked her. Her gut told her.
Mm-hmm.
She listened to her gut. She was right.
Mm-hmm.
Joe was a threat.
Yeah.
Joe's a threat.
Yeah.
Soon as she started talking about Joe, and then when she went to the house and she met him, he came at her first. He knew the parting shots to throw at her.
Yeah. And the whole
But
line and all
he was smart enough to do it that he knew it would cause her to snap and be irrational.
Yeah.
When she became irrational, she couldn't control anything else. Whitney catches her snapping off at him. Whitney's like, you're throwing words at him and messing with him. You're picking with him.
Right.
Whitney didn't hear all of it. So I was like, wow, she didn't hear everything. She's mad with her. And I like the fact that Tori had stepped to Joe and let him know.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I saw Joe back up, now I'm reading, so my head upset. But when I felt that he backed up, I'm like, okay.
It's sort of like
But
Medea said.
I didn't think he was down here at a challenge.
He had a challenge, but it was sort of like Medea said, if a guy tell you he gonna hit you, tell him you calling 911 and see what he said, to see if he back up. And he backed up because he was like, oh, I ain't about ready to fight.
Yeah.
He ain't ready to fight.
He wasn't ready to fight a man. And
Right.
I'm going to tell you, that's when I realized he was whooping her tail.
Yeah.
I realized he was beating her because of the fact that Torian stepped to him. And Torian didn't step to him in a hostile way. He just like, whoa, you don't know me like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't disrespect me.
I think he was whooping her tail when he said,
That's
I'm
right
gonna go
there.
take a shower, you cook it. And then she went in the kitchen. I said, it was one of those moments where you go, did she just walk past and go in that kitchen and get the cooking? It's unlike he barked the order she did, and I said, oh, nah, something ain't right.
He been barking orders to her since
Right.
last week.
As soon as I saw that, I said, oh, nah. Because if he barking orders 9 times out of 10, he probably laying hands on her. The fact that she got it with the quickness to go in the kitchen, she had no smartness, and then she got mad at Aiden and didn't even care about what he had said. And even when Aiden said, she said something about wine. Well, even when she said he said about wine, oh, I didn't know he said that.
But I'm going to tell you something. Think about why she got mad with Aiden.
She got mad with because she told the truth and made her see that your facade of everything is great. Because even remember, Aiden had told Torian, we're gonna go see the lovebirds. Mm-hmm. Remember, and Torian was like, oh, you set me up. They lovebirds, they lovebirds. But it was sort of like, this is the facade. It's like, this is the facade that Aiden was putting on to him to let him know that this isn't what they think. It's okay. But yeah, I knew he was beating her when she got up and ran to that kitchen.
Well, no, I'm okay, but you're right. But I'm gonna tell you also why I think that Whitney got mad with Aiden for that. What do you think happened when Aiden and Torian left?
Oh, she got beat up.
She got asked for.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why Whitney got mad.
Yeah.
Whitney's thing was, y'all pissed this sucker off, and now I'm about to get beat down.
But think about it. Also, they told us a hint that she was getting beat because remember Torian in his part, he said she came out dressed in more clothes than you need to. And I'm thinking she had bruises.
This time of year, yeah.
I'm thinking she had bruises because if I'm in my apartment and y'all coming over, I'm in comfortable clothes.
Yeah.
extra layers.
That man, that boy,
He was
and
fine.
I said that boy, he's been beating her since high school.
Yes.
High school college. Then you bring in Sammy. Her and Sammy didn't have a relationship like that. Sammy was sweet on her, but Sammy figured out, oh boy was beating her. That's why Sammy and Joe got into it.
Yeah.
Sammy did what a friend should do. He smacked the crap out of
Yeah,
Joe. Joe ain't fight him.
Nah, Joe won't go fight him. He about that life. He thought beating on women who are weaker than him, not beating on somebody who gonna give him a fight.
And that's why Sammy left them alone. Now, if she writes a book too, I hope that she be true to that part, because I didn't get a feeling that Sammy and Whitney were sleeping together.
No.
I got a feeling that
He defended her and Whitney got upset because
he kept that secret.
Right, he kept the secret and Whitney felt like, oh, you're gonna spill it out and then are you gonna hold it over my head?
But he never said a word.
He never said a word, he just
left.
disappeared.
Yeah, he left.
And she felt guilt. So instead of admitting she felt guilt, she turned it into anger.
Bingo. I feel that the writer should go ahead for this next one. Get into the Whitney, Joe, Sammy dynamics. Figure out, because honestly, that's a good story. We know we have teenagers that abuse other teenagers.
Right.
We know we got a problem. We got a deep problem right now in Black society.
Yeah, we do.
Excuse my French. And it's in all, but it's deep in Black right now.
It is.
With a teenage boy thinking he has the right to put his hand on a teenage girl.
Yes.
We got deep problems with that. And if you have a daughter out there or a son out there and they've been beat on by another teenager, you need to rectify that, because that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's true.
When you grow up to be a man, you wonder why.
When you want to be a man, you wonder why you have these really issues.
And why the girl ended up messing you up.
Right.
Because you're going to get one who's going to let you know, no, that's not how you act. And then you wonder why she's either stabbing or killing your son.
Right.
Or she don't want the son near the child, the child near the son, because of stuff like that. So that's an issue I hope she writes about in the second book.
Right.
And write it good, write it deep enough that people get it.
Right.
Because we do have issues with we know we got issues with black on black crime.
Right.
That's another thing they touched on in the book, why I gave it 5 stars for me. Okay? I may have to do 2 reviews. But black on black crime. You go and you rob the black poor man, because you're talking about he got money in the house. They robbed this couple for less than what? Was it even $1,000 in the house? I think it was way less than that.
Yes.
A retired couple. You robbed them, then you shoot them. When he looked at me, he gave me lip.
Told me I wasn't gonna get away with it. But no, you really gonna get caught, because if you running off at the mouth and you that trigger happy now, yeah, you gonna do something and get caught for something later on. He was just speaking facts.
Excuse me, y'all. So when I saw that, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm reading this and I'm like, this is real. Black on black crime. You prefer to go rob this poor black couple. They all don't have anything. You're not man enough, or as you say, boss enough, which I hate that word, to go rob something over there. And I'm not saying that you should.
Right.
I'm just saying, you just
you
show.
An easy target.
And you always do.
You always do.
We know that here, right here in Richmond, I live on Southside.
Yes.
We had this young man, and I'm going to get off the book. He's going around, he's robbing people in Southside, robbing women in broad daylight. Young guy, you can't go get a job, you can't go to temp, you can't go to a re-entry program and get something. But instead, you want to rob old black women doing the damn day and take their money, and you feel that it's okay. You are a punk piece of trash, and that's how I feel about it.
Right.
The woman that maced you, she should have maced you, should have shoved it in your mouth, your head, whatever. And because of the fact of what you did, this woman, she's retired, she coming home, and you rob her for her retirement, you try to rob her for her retirement money, I agree with her, I'm gonna go down and fight, you ain't getting my stuff. You want it, you get your ass out there and you work for it.
Right.
That's another point in that book that I love, was the fact they talked about black on black crime that needs to stop. And like I said, I live over here on Southside, and I see the stupid shit that goes on with black on black crime. You want to rob somebody who's already poor. Take your saggy pants ass, either go back to jail or go somewhere else and rob somebody that you know is stand up to you. Don't be robbing these old women, and messing with them and these old men. I mean, you gonna rob somebody walking on a fucking walk. Excuse me, y'all. And yes, that side just came about me, okay? Because that gets me hot. Like I said, I live over here and I see stupid stuff that's going on. Excuse nothing. You know what? Screw being an excuse. I said what I said and I meant what I said. We got a problem with black on black crime. And I felt that this book addressed it. This is not a romance. And that's it. I saw some of the reviews that people gave. This is not a romance. This is a drama. And it's a black drama, African American drama, Afro drama, however you are, that I think that people can learn from and have. You need to start talking and having conversations. But it's not a romance. It's telling you about real life stuff. Even though she may be slow in certain parts, she's telling you everything that we are facing right now.